Hi, Resident of Collinwood here again. What, do you think I was just doing one Dark Shadows video? No, I'm not finished. Um, I really didn't mention the revival too much in my recent video I just uploaded, so I'm going to mention it here. This is sort of going to be my revival revisited a little bit. There's things the revival did really, really well, and there's things the revival did not do. Here's things they did really well. You have Victoria Winters, and yes, she's an orphan governess, but she's not just an orphan governess in this. She's actually the reincarnation of Josette. That I loved. I love the fact that you're going to put a fresh coat of paint on these characters. And when you do something like that, it lets me think, man, if you're going to add fresh coat of paint, make sure you add the new characters with it. Maggie Evans' father, Sam, was the bar owner of the Blue Whale. I love that. I love the fact that Maggie Evans herself is a medium in this. That was so well done, by the actress who played Maggie in the series. And I love that her and Roger have this sexual relationship. Sex sells, guys, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if anyone tells you it's not, they're goddamn lying to you. But don't mind me. It's been a crazy... Listen, I'm just trying to come on here and have some fun. But I really love their relationship. It was really good. Elizabeth... I do think there's some difference of Elizabeth here. Again, Elizabeth isn't Victoria's mother. She doesn't have to worry about that. She's just hiring this girl. Now, it doesn't really get into too much of the explanation of the hire. She just hired her, which I like. I like that Mrs. Johnson is Willie Loomis's aunt, I do, or Nana, or aunt, or something like that. I like that. I love the portrayal of Willie Loomis in this. He stutters. He stutters in this, and then he stops stuttering when he starts working for Barnabas. His speech impediment gets better. I really like Joe Haskell in this. It's a damn shame Joe Haskell gets killed off by Angelique in this. Angelique, I love how they did the sort of spirit / ghost manifestation of Angelique out of a picture book. I love that. And I love how they did Sarah's ghost too. She was just... It wasn't quite Sharon Lynn's ghost, but that's okay. Differences are good. You have this girl who is trying to sort of communicate with her brother. With the original Sarah, I love the London Bridge. The London Bridge, I love Sarah's theme. Sarah's theme is one of my favorite, if not my favorite theme of all. I just love it. I think it's creepy as hell and could be used that way. And that was used more in the original series to me. I liked that, how they did it in the original, better than the revival. The revival, though, here's something I think they did really well. I like the score, too. I love how they had the house backdrop like that. Here's things they should have focused on. Here's the cons. They did not put enough emphasis in newer characters. They were really relying on this fresh coat of paint characters. And I know some people have said that, they were going to add Quentin coming if they got renewed. Okay, yeah, Quentin's a nice character to have, but who else do you have? That's something I thought about long and hard when I was writing the revival. I knew I was going to have a Quentin myself. And I was going off the rumor that there was going to be a Quentin. Now, let's say, why not have this character? Why not have this character? You want to have as many new characters as possible to add to the story and add to the mix and chaos of Dark Shadows. I think that's something, because the original series went a lot longer, this original series did well. It added that fresh coat of new characters. It wasn't just a fresh coat of paint on older characters. That's the one thing I'll say about the revival, though. With the fresh coat of paint, they did add something to each character. Ben Cross's Barnabas is not Jonathan Frid's Barnabas, and that's a good thing. Ben Cross does not get enough credit for being his own Barnabas. That is one thing, if they ever do another one, if or when they do a Dark Shadows movie, they do a series, I want out of Barnabas. I want Barnabas to be the person who plays Barnabas to be his own Barnabas, because that's the one thing Ben Cross did so well, and I love him for it. It was not Jonathan Fritz. It wasn't. It had the essence of it, but it was something so much added on, that the way he talked, the way he carried himself, the way he just would walk, there was something. Fred too. Fred had, again, each guy brought something different to the table, and that's something I want to see. I love seeing difference with the characters, and if I would have seen, that's the one thing when I watch a revival. When you go into the past and then you come back, I'm thinking you really needed newer characters. By the time she comes back, really, before even she comes back, they should have been introducing newer characters who were going to be in this fray somehow. They should have, to me, that Quentin should have showed up before she came back. That while she's sort of intermixing in time, something's causing Quentin to come forward into the present. That Quentin maybe comes through the time leap or something. Who knows? They could have did something like that in the revival, and they could have had newer characters as well. Again, you just don't want to rely on the ones that you know and add a fresh coat of paint. You want to add new, and it's just me speaking as a writer. Is there one thing the revival doesn't get enough credit for? Yes, the actors. I've said this, I know I've sort of been saying this, but the actors did a really good job making these characters their own. I do think David Collins sort of was his own in a sense. I think Maggie was her own, Carolyn, Elizabeth, Barnabas. The Angelique was terrifying in the revival. I'm talking in a great way of that woman would commit murder. And that's something I loved out of the new Angelique. That woman flat out stabs killed somebody to protect her so it couldn't end Barnabas' curse. Damn, girl. Did a beautiful job. But God. And again, playing a character that Laura Parker played, and the way Laura Parker played her in the original series, again, I've said this, Laura Parker was damn well ahead of her time. And a lot of witches that I saw in the 90s reminded me of Laura Parker's Angelique. So, and any witch I've seen after Angelique reminds me of fucking Angelique. Okay? Angelique wasn't your green skin witch. Everyone talks about this with Seasonal Witch. Well, same thing with Angelique. She was smoking hot, beautiful blonde. And oh my God, she was an enchantress, seducer, and knew how to use witchcraft. I mean, really, just you would not expect her to be a witch. You just wouldn't. When you talked to her, she was just nice to you. And then behind your back, she's probably putting a curse on you. But, and I like how they did the revival, Angelique. She was real sexual. That's something the revival did too, that I think that's where the movies really picked up from, the 2012 movie picked up from. The 2012 movie picked up the sexual tension, to me, in the 91 revival. You had that sexual tension and sex sort of scene in the revival. And I think that's something the revival doesn't get enough credit for, that the 2012 movie took from. Again, you can't be afraid to show intimacy. Intimacy is a part of every relationship, pretty much. It's just something that goes on. No, it does. God damn it! Don't lie to yourself. But goodness. So that's sort of. I wanted to do a follow up real quick on my Dark Shadows video I just did, because I did not really mention a revival too much. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Will we ever see another Dark Shadow? I think someday. I think we'll see something. God willing. I just hope we do. I'm more than ready for a new Dark Shadows. I really am. I was saying, I said this to John when I was interviewing him. To me, the Dark Shadows story he's been writing for the past 5 years is the Dark Shadows. Still is sort of our Dark Shadows of our time. Even though we can't watch it, we can read it, and it's so well done. And I've said that to death. So you guys have a good one. I'll see you down the road, and hopefully I'll maybe do another video later this week. Hopefully. Bye.